Hello YouTubers, Dylan here with a new drawing video. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you all how to draw a duo of classic Disney characters, specifically Chip and Dale, the Chipmunks. So get yourselves a nice piece of paper, get a good pencil, like this video, hit that subscribe button. Let's begin. So we want to start off with some basic circle shapes for their heads. And they're going to be slightly close to each other. And like I always say in my videos, draw some loose and light shapes first. Be messy. Don't worry about making mistakes in the beginning because we're going to cover them up later on. And then below these circle shapes, we're going to draw these kind of triangle shapes or maybe pear shapes for their bodies. One is going to be a little arched back a bit. They almost look like chess pieces. And then we need to put in our center lines to know where the middle of their faces will be. You'll see the whole front of this face here. This is where Chip is going to be. This is where Dale will be. And I'll explain to you how to tell their differences later on. Then we're going to draw some circles for their joints. This character, he's going to have his hand behind him, and his other hand, you'll see what it is later on. Then we need to draw, you don't need to, they have short legs, so you just need to draw these light ovals for their feet. Okay, now we are going to draw, let's start their faces first. So let's start with Chip's nose. It's basically like a soft triangle shape. Then we're going to draw his cheeks. Then we draw two curves . That's his mouth. He's going to be smiling. Then you're going to draw another curve that goes like this. Then we draw the bridge of his nose. And now we need to draw his eyes. They're these kind of half oval shapes. Curve there. Curve on this side, then repeat a similar process with the other eye. Here's the bottom end of his eye. Then we draw the pupils, and they're basically these little ovals. And then you put the little white spot on the inside for the highlights. Then you color in everything else dark. Then we are going to draw an upside down U shape with a dark little moon shape, a very thin moon shape. Then make And then right here, you're going to draw a light little zigzag line followed by a kind of a backward C that goes all the way here. Then repeat a similar process on this side as well. So we got that. Now we are going to draw his cheeks. And it's basically going to curve over his then repeat the same process on this side, except there's more zigzag lines. Then you're going to get this curve up here. Then you're going to draw his ear, and it's going to be like almost like an acorn shape. And then for the inside of the ear, you have to draw this really thin kind of teardrop shape on the inside. And then you draw another one that's like it, except you don't draw the bottom. Then you draw the inside there. Now we are going to draw the rest of Chip's body. Here's the lower edge. Here's the front side of his body, has some zigzags that go like this. Then we need to get his the inside of his elbow. Get his elbow here. Here's his hand, and he only has like 3 fingers that go like this. Like that. Then you draw these curves. This will be the front, finishing off the front side of his body. Here's the lower edge of his feet. Then draw the leg here. It's basically like a teardrop shape, only bigger. And now we need to get his other arm. This is like where Dale's hand will be, behind him on his shoulder. It's what friends tend to do sometimes to look cool. And then you draw a thumb like this. Here's his pointer finger, his middle finger, and his index finger, just like that. And then we draw his feet. They're both simple ovals with just 3 lines that go like this. Okay, so we got Chip. Now we need to draw Dale. We'll start by drawing his nose. It's almost a nearly perfect circle. So those are his cheeks. Then right here, you're going to draw a U shape that goes like this. And then we are going to also put his 2 teeth that stick out. And they're going to be shaped like squares. It's going to go like this. Then you're going to draw his tongue. Then you can shade that inside. Then you draw his lower lip that goes like this. And then you draw his other side of his mouth. Here's one end of his and now we need to draw his eyes. And his eyes will be some fairly simple ovals, just like Chip's. Don't forget the outer edge of his eye. To get his eyelid up here. And then don't forget to create an eyebrow. Here's the outer edge of his nose bridge. Here's the lower edge of his eye. The outer curve, the eyelid. We need to draw his eyebrow. There's the point there. And now we need to draw the inside of Dale's eyes, the pupils, and the highlight marks. Make sure he's looking at us. Shade those in. Now we can draw the outer edge of his head. Then here's the outer edge of his face here. All right, now we need to draw, unlike Chip, he has hair that sticks out on the top in the middle of his head. And now we also need to draw his ears. They're really small. Here's one ear here. Here's the inside. All right. Then we can also draw the front side of his body. There are these zigzags, except there's a lot more detail than Chip here. We gotta draw a middle line there. Here's the side of his body. Here's the side of his body there. Get his arm. We got to get this side of his body, which is also connected to his foot there. You don't see the rest of his foot as it's hidden behind Chip. Draw these two lines there. And then we draw the other arm. It's held behind his back. So you just draw this curve here. Then you draw a point for his tail and fur lines that go like this. And that's pretty much it. That is Chip and Dale. I hope you all had fun. And I'll see you next time. Bye.